This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. I'm Derek Gilbert with 5 things you need to know for Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. Item number 5 again today is Syria, as we try to make sense of the chaos on the ground there. Over the past 3 days, Israel has reportedly conducted some 350 airstrikes targeting weapons depot, weapons systems left behind by the Assad regime to keep them from falling into the hands of Islamist rebels. In addition, the IDF has moved inside Syria to create a wider buffer zone between Islamist rebels and Israel. In fact, IDF tanks moving to within 16 miles of Damascus. And IDF troops have occupied the summit of Mount Hermon for the first time. This was the site of a United Nations observation post referred to as Camp Hermon, but the Syrians also had facilities up there on the summit. This is where the highest man-made place of worship on earth is located. I mean, to this day, the summit about 9,200 feet above sea level. It is not one of the 100 tallest mountains on earth, but again, there is no man-made temple on earth anywhere that is at a higher elevation than the one on the summit of Mount Hermon. And this is where Sir Charles Warren in 1869 found what we refer to as the Watcher's Stone, an inscribed limestone slab that roughly translates as, by order of the great god Bull El, those who swore an oath proceed from here. That newer translation, by the way, courtesy of Dr. Doug Hamp, who's gotten the first new information off of that stone in the last 100 years since it was first translated. Anyway, that's a reference to the Watchers, the sons of God from Genesis chapter 6. The inscription in archaic Greek, so probably dating to about the time of the birth of Jesus. This is strategically important, occupying the summit, because the summit of Mount Hermon provided caused blind spots in Israeli radar installations located on lower slopes of Hermon. That meant that aircraft and drones approaching and missiles approaching from the north and northwest, coming from Syria or Lebanon, were not visible to Israeli radar until they were basically already in Israeli airspace. So now, with Israel occupying the summit, it's got a full 360-degree view of the surrounding territory in Lebanon and Syria. Very important for Israeli security. I doubt Israel is going to give it back any more than Israel will give back the rest of the Golan Heights. So we can speculate on the spiritual significance of Israel occupying the summit, but again, that is just speculation. It was known as a supernaturally charged place going all the way back to the time of Abraham and even earlier. I mean, pagan texts like the Epic of Gilgamesh referring to the secret dwelling of the Anunnaki at Mount Hermon. But again, what does that mean today? Just speculation. We should note that Israel is not the only external player on the ground in Syria. Russia is still controlling Army, Navy, and Air Force bases in the western part of Syria near the Mediterranean Sea. Kurds controlling the region to the north and the east. That would be the yellow area on the map back there. Groups backed by Türkiye in green along the northern border. The rebel group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham occupying the mainly blue areas in the center of the region. Iranian-backed Shia militias trying to occupy and move into Syria from the east. The United States still occupying the At-Tanf border crossing and some areas around the oil-rich region of Deir ez-Zor. And of course, again, Israel moving into Syria to create a wider buffer zone. The area in the south, that purple area in the southwest of Syria, that is a group that calls itself the Southern Operations Room, mainly Druze factions occupying that part of Syria. How this all shakes out, I don't know, but I doubt that we're going to see one unified Syria anytime soon, probably a collection of independent, semi-autonomous zones similar to Kurdistan in northern Iraq. The question is whether Syrian Arabs are going to control their own destiny and how much influence the U.S., Russia, Iran, and or Türkiye will still have inside that region. Again, there are those celebrating the fall of the House of Assad. But there's a report that signals a reason we need to be very cautious about celebrating this. A Christian woman reportedly posting to social media, no way to verify the account, but posting to social media that she was stopped at a checkpoint in Damascus and told by a representative of HTS, the Sunni offshoot of al-Qaeda, that women are not allowed to leave their homes without a male escort and without wearing the hijab. So again, Christian Druze celebrations about Assad falling, that will last until HTS tries to start asserting Sharia law. Moving on, topic number 4, murder in Manhattan. You've heard by now about the assassination of the CEO of United Healthcare, America's largest health insurance company. 50-year-old Brian Thompson shot in the back at close range early last Wednesday, outside a hotel in Midtown Manhattan. 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, from a prominent Maryland real estate family, has been arrested. He's being held in Altoona, Pennsylvania, where he was caught when a McDonald's customer inside a McDonald's recognized him and told an employee. Police were called and brought in. He was caught with a gun similar to the one seen on CCTV and a manifesto that reportedly condemned parasitic healthcare insurance companies. Topic number 3, Haiti. That place, it is very dark. Another gruesome gang horror has played out in the capital city of Port-au-Prince. At least 184 people, most of them elderly, were slashed, hacked, or shot to death on the orders of a warlord who was told by a voodoo priest that older residents of a slum had used sorcery to cause his son to fall ill. This reportedly ordered by Monel Mikano Felix, who leads the Wharf Jeremy gang. This took place Friday and Saturday in the densely populated seaside slum of Cité Soleil, means City of the Sun, a neighborhood in the capital city of Port-au-Prince. Guardian newspaper in the UK calls it Haiti's most notorious slum. Much of the slum an open sewer. Children bathed in water contaminated with sewage. According to a human rights group, Felix's son had contracted a serious illness. He consulted a voodoo priest who advised him that elderly people in the gang's area of operations were responsible, using sorcery on his son. So members of Felix's gang surrounded the neighborhood, proceeded to search homes for people over the age of 60 who were then hacked to death with machetes, slashed with knives, or shot. Victims included some younger people trying to defend their older residents. Bodies were dragged into the streets where they were burned, the stench reportedly overpowering. And while all this was going on, the massacre, Felix's son died from his illness. Wall Street Journal notes that back in June, a Kenya-led multinational police force was supposed to help the government of Haiti retake control of the streets of Port-au-Prince and other areas from gangs. They've had no success. To this date, 6 months later, only about 400 of the promised 2,500 foreign police officers have actually been deployed. Topic number 2, Palestinian Jesus. At the Vatican, on Saturday, Pope Francis attended a nativity scene crafted in Bethlehem. This now on display at Pope Paul VI Hall in Vatican City. The display, depicting the birth of Jesus in Bethlehem, features baby Jesus swaddled in a keffiyeh, which is the traditional Arab head covering that was appropriated by PLO leader Yasser Arafat back in the 60s and 70s as a symbol of Arab terrorism. The creation and display of the nativity scene, organized by the Higher Presidential Committee for Church Affairs of Palestine. This is an organization of the Palestine Liberation Organization and the Palestinian Embassy to the Vatican. Pope Francis lending it credibility by allowing it to be displayed in the Vatican and then paying visit to it. Jesus was not an Arab. He was a Jew. Big difference. Coming up, actions have consequences. Defund the police edition. That's next on 5 and 10.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we need the grassroots support of our Skywatch TV family to help us get the Rescue Us series out to as many people as we possibly can. This information is being suppressed, deleted, deplatformed, taken down, and is way too sobering for most network television outlets. We need you to get involved. We need you to join us in the efforts to get this series in front of your friends, your pastors, people of influence in government, your communities, anybody and everybody. Help us share this series not only to illuminate the many, many ways that we're losing an entire generation of children to intolerable darkness, but also to assist in the raising of an army of God's people willing to stand in the gap for them. The Rescue Us series shows the viewer what can be done by absolutely anybody willing to say, "Yes, Lord, I will answer the call. I will intervene for those who have no voice and for those who desperately need help." And that's why right now we're asking you to stand with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we're proud to introduce the Rescue Us special offer. For your donation of only $49.99, you'll not only receive a copy of the entire 6-DVD docuseries Rescue Us that uncovers the massive crisis destroying an entire generation of youth, all while challenging each one of us to rise up for our nation's most vulnerable and break the cycle of abuse. But you'll also receive the brand new documentary, Rescued, Samantha's Story, where Samantha Orr personally takes you through her nightmarish childhood of unthinkable trauma and abuse to her total restoration in the arms of Jesus Christ. But friends, that's not all. Right now, while supplies last, we're also including in this special opportunity the 4-hour audio series on disc, The Hidden Occultism of Epstein's Orgy Island by the late Dr. Thomas Horn, Silent Cry, The Darker Side of Trafficking featuring Yaku Bouillons, Ilanka Deaton, Dr. Thomas Horn, and others, and the major motion picture movie Camp on DVD that showcases what God can do in the life of a child desperate in need of rescuing through ministries like Royal Family Kids and is inspired by true events. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of $200. Yours now for your donation of only $49.99, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. But ladies and gentlemen, we are so committed to this message reaching as many viewers as is humanly possible that we want to equip you, our grassroots army of Skywatch TV friends and family members, with an opportunity to partner with us like never before. Join us in spreading this invaluable message through the Rescue Us Partner Pack, where you'll receive 5 copies of each of the items we just mentioned for your donation of only $165. That's right, when you order the special Rescue Us Partner Pack, you'll receive 5 copies of the entire 6-DVD docuseries Rescue Us, 5 copies of Rescued, Samantha's Story, 5 copies of The Hidden Occultism of Epstein's Orgy Island, 5 copies of Silent Cry, The Darker Side of Trafficking, and 5 copies of the major motion picture movie Camp on DVD. This massive collection of documentaries, audio series, and movies holds a retail value of $1,000. Yours now for your donation of only $165. With 5 complete copies of everything in the collection, that allows you to keep 1 for you and your family and 4 entire sets to share with people that you believe will also be inspired to stand up in defense of God's greatest gift to us, our children. Remember, your donation helps Skywatch TV continue to get this important message to the 4 corners of the world. You can also stream the entire Rescue Us series and or Samantha's Story right now at skywatchtvstore.com/stream. So act quickly. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to this special opportunity. Visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Rescue Us special offer or the Rescue Us Partner Pack right now.
Item number 1 today, defund the police. Help, please! That's essentially what was going on. Left-wing activist Darcy Bell spent years on social media ranting to defund the police. Well, she has now gone viral after a U-Haul truck she'd rented was stolen in San Francisco and police did nothing. She posted to social media, quote, "If you see a 26-foot U-Haul truck with Arizona plates, would you let me know because it had like everything I own on it," end quote. And then Bell blasted the police hours after filing a police report for the cops not immediately finding her stolen items. Now, according to the New York Post, to those accusing her of hypocrisy, she continues to insist that she, quote, "literally never called the cops," end quote. She basically filed a police report to complain about the police not finding her stuff, even though she didn't call the police to report the stuff missing. She is reposting more calls to defund law enforcement just so people know she's not being a hypocrite. U-Haul has urged her to let them know if and when the truck is returned. After being appropriately mocked on social media, Bell shot back, quote, "Look at these good Christian victim advocates celebrating my kids losing their belongings at Christmas," end quote. No, Ms. Bell, we are not celebrating that at all. We are just pointing out that actions have consequences, and you are now learning this lesson whether you realize it or not. Skywatch TV's virtual conference, The Resurrection War, is on now, which means you get instant access to 24 cutting-edge presentations. Dr. Mike Spalding's The Resurrection of Israel, showing the biblical argument that the 1948 Declaration of Independence by David Ben-Gurion and the nascent state of Israel was, in fact, the fulfillment of Bible prophecy. And then, my bonus presentation, The Secret History of Israel, explains what exactly happened behind the scenes. And surprise, it had nothing to do with Jewish bankers. Anyway, much more involved there. Presentations from Pastor Carl Gallups, Messianic Rabbi Zev Porat, our good friend Vicki Joy Anderson, and more. Our friend Kenny C. hosting a roundtable discussion with Pastor Doug Van Dorn, Dr. Judd Burton, Luke Rogers of the Blurry Creatures podcast joining us for the first time. All of this available for instant access and for 90 days thereafter. Find out more and sign up today at defenderconference.com. That's defenderconference.com. This week on Skywatch TV, our fourth week about the 6-part docuseries Rescue Us. This is heavy material, but it's why we do what we do at Skywatch TV. This week, we share with you the parable of the star thrower. This will touch your heart. It is heartwarming. It is uplifting. Yeah, even though the story of these children at risk is hard to bear, there is hope. Don't miss the program. You can watch it and the 3 previous programs in the series. In fact, all of our video content is available at skywatchtv.com. You can watch the over-the-air broadcast. Our schedule is posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. Now, if you got a set-top box like Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, make sure you've got the Skywatch TV channel installed because you get access to all of our video content that way. And guess what? It bypasses the gatekeepers of big tech by doing that. You can also, if you get a smart TV with Roku or Amazon Fire TV already installed, you can also install the Skywatch TV app there. Over the internet, you can watch it at YouTube, youtube.com/@SkywatchTelevision, rumble.com/Skywatch TV, or download it right to your smartphone or tablet. We've got the free mobile app for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets, and links to their app stores at skywatchtv.com. Follow 5 in 10 online. That's at YouTube at 5 in 10, X, formerly Twitter, at 5_in_10. And thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.